There we go. Hi, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. My name is Caroline Desrochers, and I will be the MC for the event today. I'm pleased that we're joined by the Honorable Gregor Robertson, Minister of Housing and Infrastructure, and Minister responsible for Pacific Economic Development Canada. The Honorable Mandy Galmasti, Minister of Indigenous Services. The Honorable Cecile Nelvana Lyall, Minister responsible for the Nunavut Housing Corporation, right here, and Paul Irngaut, President of Nunavut Tunngavik Incorporated. Before we start, I want to acknowledge that the land that which we gather here today is the traditional unceded territory of the Anishinaabe Algonquin people, who have taken care of this land for millennials, and we thank them for their hospitality. Our government is working towards building a better future for all Canadians by catalyzing nation-building projects, taking strong climate action, and building a stronger economy that works for everyone. To do so, we'll continue to make strategic investment, it's for Gregor. It's meant for you, the height, it's not for me. Strategic investment in housing and infrastructure. It's so important in order to build the world that the country that our citizens need, and foster vibrant and affordable communities where residents can thrive. Today, we're very proud to support important work that will help advance housing priorities and support communities in Nunavut. To tell us more about today's announcement, I'll invite my colleague, Gregor Robertson, Minister of Housing and Infrastructure, to deliver remarks. Thank you.
Merci, Caroline. And hello, everyone. Bonjour. Good morning. Ulakut. It's great to be here today at Kaivan here in Ottawa. Thank you so much to our hosts, Frank and the team here at Kaivan, for making it possible to see how they are building homes here in a warm factory on a very cold day here in the capital. We're really honored to be joined here today by Minister Cecile, by President Paul, by Minister Mandy, and Parliamentary Secretary Caroline. Thank you for joining us to honor us here. I'll say, as Minister of Housing, I often find myself thinking about different visions of Canadians, what they have for their home. Because the work that we do has the potential to make those dreams possible. The work that people here do on the floor of this factory make people's visions for their homes possible, make them real. No matter where someone wants to live, especially if it's in the community that they grew up in, where their family and friends are, they have the option to do that if we can deliver the housing. Un logement sûr, sécurisé et abordable contribuer au bien-être de la communauté et des opportunités économiques et à sa résilience. Today, that is what we are delivering on for Nunavut. We know there are very significant housing needs in the north, as well as unique challenges. By working together as our governments and with home building experts like the ones here at Kaivan, we are facing these challenges head on. And that is the promise of Build Canada Homes. It is Canada's one-stop shop for affordable housing, and it's changing the way we build, so that challenges like Nunavut's climate, short construction season, and high costs don't get in the way of building homes. Maison Canada travaille pour augmenter le nombre de logements abordables, pour bâtir plus de logements à Nunavut et à travers le Canada. Today, we are taking a major step towards tackling the housing needs in Nunavut. Through Build Canada Homes, the Government of Canada and the Government of Nunavut, in partnership with NTI, have reached an agreement that will build 750 affordable homes in Nunavut. And these homes are produced using innovative manufacturing facilities like Kaivan here, and once completed and shipped to the site, They are assembled in days or weeks rather than months or years. In short, the homes that are being built right here behind us will be going to a community in Nunavut very soon. Build Canada Homes works with partners across the housing continuum to drive the development of affordable housing. Maison Canada travaille partout dans le continuum du logement pour augmenter le nombre de logements abordables, dans l'effort national du Canada pour bâtir plus de logements, améliorer l'abordabilité et réduire l'itinérance. Stronger collaboration among all levels of government and with the key partners is needed to address the housing challenges we face across the country, especially in Nunavut, which the most recent census shows has the highest need in Canada at 33%. Une meilleure coordination entre tous les niveaux de gouvernement et les partenaires clés est nécessaire pour relever les défis liés au logement partout au pays. This agreement is also about supporting approaches that help communities thrive and improve, they improve well-being across Inuit Nunavut. It respects Inuit self-determination by supporting housing solutions designed and delivered in collaboration with Inuit for Inuit. NTI's participation in this is particularly important. So I raise my hands to President Paul Irngaut, bringing an Inuit-led housing perspective. We want to ensure that the new investments reflect Inuit needs, values, and approaches to community development. The 750 new homes will include public, affordable, and supportive housing units, and 25 of the units will be affordable and delivered through NTI's Nunavut Corporation and structured through the Inuit Housing Fund. Build Canada Homes will also work with suppliers to prioritize Canadian materials, like we see here. Well done, Kaivan, with 100% Canadian wood on the floor here, to support the Government of Canada's Buy Canadian policy. If you would allow me a moment of optimism to close off. Since its launch, Build Canada Homes has moved quickly to get housing projects off the ground. We have identified public lands that can be converted into housing. We've partnered with local governments to cut the red tape, to waive fees and fast-track approvals. Up to 3,000 new homes here in Ottawa, up to 1,430 homes in Nova Scotia. Last week, we signed a partnership with Quebec to accelerate approvals and to identify further housing projects in Quebec. In total, the 9 Build Canada Homes deals that are now solid are expected to build nearly 7,500 new homes. And there are so many more projects to come in the months ahead, with private, public, and government partners showing up at the table. We are ready to build. So I know there's much more to do, but the progress that I've seen in these last few months gives me a ton of hope that we are going in the right direction. Thank you very much. Merci.
Merci. Thank you, Gregor. Oui, en effet, on doit vraiment accélérer la construction de logements et ça va passer par des technologies nouvelles comme on voit aujourd'hui ici à Kaivan. Et je veux aussi remercier le leadership de ma collègue Mandy pour vraiment assurer que les politiques qu'on met en place prennent justement en considération les besoins, qu'on sait que c'est adapté, qu'on fait un travail qui est vraiment bien pensé, qui va s'inscrire dans la durée. Alors, peut-être sans plus tarder, je vais inviter, I'd like to invite Cecile Nelvana Lyall, Minister responsible for the Nunavut Housing Corporation, to deliver the remarks on behalf of the Government of Nunavut. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Ulakut. As the Minister responsible for the Nunavut Housing Corporation, it's an honor to be here today representing Nunavut for this important announcement. For far too long, Nunavut and their families have waited for appropriate and adequate housing in their communities. the housing crisis in Nunavut is severe and long-standing. Its impacts are not abstract. They have shaped health outcomes, educational success, safety, and economic participation for generations. These consequences are felt every day by families across our territory. Because of this, today's announcement is about more than just housing units. It's about ensuring that Nunavummiut can participate fully in social and economic life. It represents a measure of hope that people will have places to rest after long days, where children can study, and where families can plan a future. When we invest in housing, we invest directly in the long-term strength and resilience of our communities. It underpins every other social and economic investment we make in Nunavut, including those that support community sustainability and Canada's northern sovereignty. When we build homes, we are investing directly into our children and families, and in the long-term social and economic stability of Nunavut. That is why today's agreement in principle represents a step forward. It creates the conditions to build at scale in a way that reflects Nunavut realities, including Arctic construction conditions, workforce capacity, and community readiness. It also reflects a shared commitment between the Government of Canada, the Government of Nunavut, and Inuit organizations like Nunavut Tunngavik Incorporated to work differently and more effectively together to achieve lasting impacts. This progress would not be possible without the sustained advocacy, leadership, and persistence of many people whose efforts over time have brought us to this important moment. In 2022, the Nunavut Housing Corporation announced Nunavut 3000, a long-term commitment to deliver 3,000 new homes in Nunavut by 2030. With Igluleo Katirinnak, or building houses together, we are laying the foundation our communities need to thrive. That ambition continues to guide our work today, with a clear focus on delivery and measurable progress. This agreement supports that direction and strengthens our ability to achieve new public housing supply as part of a coordinated and long-term approach. Strong partnerships are essential to housing success in Nunavut. Inuit organizations play a critical role in shaping how housing is planned and delivered. Housing solutions are strongest when they are developed in collaboration and grounded in local knowledge, capacity, and community priorities. This agreement in principle marks a turning point, but it's not the finish line. It reflects a shared responsibility to move from commitments to results, from plans to homes. Our focus now is on delivery, in partnership and with accountability to the people that we serve. Nunavummiut have waited far too long. What matters now is action and our collective accountability in seeing it through. Koyanamik, thank you.
Thank you very much, Minister. I would like now to invite Mr. President Paul Irngaut, President of Nunavut Tunngavik Incorporated.
Queen Namik, Arenei bungak tugut. Pimbagaw titugutan na pilakanyak tabut. Ang kati utitan na aklilong naktabut. First of all, I would like to say thank you to Mr. Robert Amandi and my Minister Cecile. I feel very old because these are much younger than me and they're in very high positions. So bear with me. This is an important day for Nunavut. It shows that governments understand that Nunavut's housing crisis cannot be done or be solved by doing it alone. So we need partners. And it shows that we have partners with our federal government, the strength of the territorial system, and Inuit leadership working together in a new way. This is a new way of doing things. This is a new partnership that we are forming. For Inuit, this crisis is not something we read in a report. It's lived every day in our homes and in our communities. It is crowded houses, families doubling up, and young people with no place to begin their own lives. When we talk about overcrowding, I don't know how old you guys were in 1964, but in 1964, our family was moved to Igloolik from our outpost camp. And we couldn't move into a house. So we stayed in a tent all spring, summer, into the fall. And you know how cold it can get in the north. And then we were moved into a small 16 by 12, what they called matchbox houses for 8 people with 1 bedroom, no running water. So that shows that overcrowding started way back then when we first moved to communities. So these conditions shape health, education, an opportunity for our children, and have for decades. That is why NTI comes to this agreement with one clear principle. Housing in Nunavut must be Inuit-led. The agreement reaffirms that Inuit are full partners in shaping new housing built and sustained in our homeland. It reflects a shared understanding that lasting solutions in Nunavut must be grounded in Inuit authority, Inuit knowledge, and Inuit responsibility. Exercise as part of Canada and shaping our future, or shared future. Inuit are Canadians and know the importance of building a stronger Canada. We want to contribute fully to the Prime Minister's vision of one Canada, Canadian economy. This agreement opens the door to deeper partnership between Inuit institutions and Build Canada homes to strengthen Canada's ability to build the most challenging environment, to build in the most challenging environment in our country. This includes that Inuit-led homes through Nunavut Corporation is significant in direction. It reflects a shared understanding that Inuit are at the table. This Inuit-led approach provides a foundation that can expand over time to meet the demands for affordable housing for working Inuit families across Nunavut. With Nunavut Corporation, Inuit are developing a housing system that lasts, that builds Inuit capacity, creates Inuit jobs, and keeps homes affordable for generations. Inuit have taken the lead in establishing modern construction capacity in Nunavut, including the territory's first modular home factory, which is on track for opening this year in Nunavut. Strengthening Inuit-led model and building it through additional modular manufacturing capacity in the Qikiqtaaluk and Qit'imi region would allow Inuit to scale up housing delivery, improve efficiency, and better meet the needs of the growing demand for affordable housing for working Inuit families across Nunavut. These factories, like all aspects of Nunavut's economy, are tied directly into Canadian supply chains. Inuit housing built by Inuit for Inuit in Nunavut will use Canadian-made materials, moving through Canadian logistic networks, and supported by Canadian industries across this country. Just last week, Nunavut Corporation held its inaugural board meeting and approved its founding policies. Inuit contributed $56 million of our own funds to establish the Inuit Housing Fund and leverage distinct base housing investment. Together, those form the backbone of the Inuit Housing Action Plan. Inuit has established Inuit institutional capacity, the first system of its kind in Nunavut, and perhaps Canada, capable of delivering housing at scale and managing its sustainability for generations. Affordability is achieved through income generated by the $135 million Inuit Housing Fund, combined with rental revenues that cover Nunavut Corporation's costs. Nunavut's planned target is to offer 3-bedroom housing, affordable house, at approximately, with the units approximately $1,800 per month. Deliberately positioned between Nunavut's two dominant housing programs. Every new home transforms a family. Over time, this transforms Nunavut. NTI stands as a partner, as a guardian of what comes next. This agreement is not an endpoint, it's a foundation. Inuit are ready to lead with Canada, for Canada, to help ensure that housing in Nunavut strengthens one Canadian economy, from coast to coast to coast. Pinlaming.
Thank you very much. So we will now proceed with a signing ceremony. We'll invite the officials to go there, and then after that we'll have a photo, and then we'll do the media Q&A. Thank you. want to do the photo now, or? Yeah. Perfect. So we'll just proceed. Renee will moderate the Q&A. And
Thank you for the question. Through Nunavut 3000, or Igluleo Katirina, Let's Build Homes Together, the aspiration of building 3,000 new homes across the housing continuum in Nunavut by 2030. The estimated cost for that would be around $2 to $3 billion. We did not have the funding for that as a government, but Igluleo Katirina, or Building Housing Together, was aspirational in a fact where it wasn't just the government of Nunavut building these units. It was an aspiration for 1,400 public housing units, and also a mix of affordable housing units, supportive housing units across the territory. So this will be done in partnership with the private sector and with Inuit organizations and not-for-profits across the territory. So these units through this program would be counted within that 3,000 number. We are hoping to be able to utilize this funding to further support with the Nunavut Affordable Supply Incentive, incentivizing the private sector to build more affordable housing units, and through our supported housing capital funding, where we're helping not-for-profits and community organizations construct supportive housing like shelters, shelters for those escaping gender-based violence across the territory. And this is a sector where we don't see, a majority of our communities currently do not offer that. Thank you.
Thanks for the question. As you know, we're building a factory up in Alvet, similar to this factory here. And we've created what's called the Nunavut Corporation, which will consist of 2 board members from NTI and 1 board member from each region, the 3 regions. And we're looking for a CEO that will oversee all that operations. So as I indicated, we had our inaugural meeting of the board, and we came up with the policies and how to move forward. As you know, it's building houses in Nunavut in the past took so long. So we're looking at modular homes, which will make it a lot easier and faster for building these houses in the north. So we put aside, as I indicated, I think it was like 56 million of our own money into building new houses. This is aside from Nunavut 3000. It's not part of that. So we're doing it as we put it, Inuit-led. We're creating jobs for Inuit in Alvet, especially young people, so that they can build the homes close to Nunavut. But as you know, this factory builds houses for for communities in Nunavut too, mainly Baker Lake. So we're trying to build, along with our government, the Canadian economy. And we're using Canadian materials, and it's in line with our government, the federal government today. Thank you.
Take a stab at that. Some of these first 750 homes are being manufactured here in Ottawa and shipped north by sea lift. That's already underway, and that's part of this is getting going as quickly as we can because of the housing shortage in Nunavut. And as you heard, NTI is leading with getting manufacturing going in the territory as well. In the north, but for now, initially there's, and I don't know the number, we can get you that number, so you have what's being built here in Ottawa first and foremost, but it's getting a jump start on things before the plant up north is up and running.
Thank you, and thank you for the question. Currently, right now, because of our shipping season, in Nunavut we don't have highways. I don't know if everyone knows that, but we don't have highways, so we're very reliant on the sea lift, the annual sea lift, where a majority of our communities only have one ship a year, sometimes two. Right now, we have some of the modular units in Baker Lake that were shipped up this past sea lift, and we're looking at 20 more possibly out of this facility for the upcoming sea lift. And again, that's as we're working through these agreements and ensuring that we're able to meet the deadlines to be able to get buildings and supplies onto those sea lifts. So there are a lot of external factors within that as well. Thank you.
Just to add to your question, what we have also is what's called the Infrastructure and Housing Committee with NTI, and the committee members consist of all the three regions. And for affordable housing, we leave it up to the regions. The Baffin has already built homes for the high Arctic. I think they've built 21 houses so far, which are to be released in April. And the reason why we created this Nunavut Corporation is that this will be the body that will look after all these houses that are being built through NTI. NTI also will be looking at building group homes, daycares, and also what do we call them? Shelters, shelters for women and men. So we'll be building those as well. Thank you.
Certainly, Build Canada Homes is focused on delivering affordable housing for Indigenous communities across the country. We anticipate that being a significant focus for Build Canada Homes, so we're working in partnership with many Indigenous communities already, working on that proposals and projects that we can deliver in the near term, and that's certainly a focus of the Build Canada Homes team right out of the gate, and working also in partnership with Minister Galmasti and her team at Indigenous Services Canada and with Minister Alti and Cerna. So we each have different different programs that we are delivering. In Build Canada Homes case, we have proposals coming in from communities that we're working with to deliver housing as soon as possible. Correct. The urban, rural, and northern Indigenous housing funding was confirmed in budget 2025. There's $2.8 billion in the budget that is being invested going forward. Again, that's a piece that is being worked on by our respective ministries to deliver. Build Canada Homes has a separate $13 billion fund to work with, and we're focusing some of that funding as well on supporting Indigenous communities with affordable housing. So it's a combination, and yeah, you'll see more on the EARN rollout in the near term. Thanks, everyone. And a big thanks to all the team working here at Kaivan for hosting us.